Imagine, if you will, a list of the great tiebreakers of all time in baseball, how baseball uses one game tiebreakers to do divisions or wild card spots or everything else. When you look at things, it's like one league uses the one game winner take all, and one league uses the best of three format. Tiebreakers are big when they have to be. Of course, in this day and age of it being so modern, tiebreakers are not really there. They don't usually do one game tiebreaker games for any sport, although it has happened before. But what if I told you that there was a tiebreaker game in the National League, uh, when they go the best of three series, that we all know about the 1951 Giants Dodgers best of three, shot heard around the world, and 1962 for that matter. The Giants coming back from 4 runs down in the ninth, no, 2 runs down in the ninth to score four on the Dodgers in LA to win the 1962 NL pennant. But what if I told you there was a best of three series in the National League that actually gets spat upon, like nobody cares about? But this does concern a franchise that did move to another city, but by rule, because I wanted to know more. This is happening. This is the story of the 1959 Milwaukee Braves. You've got Jeff Diamond, you've got one man, you've got a hat, a bat, and that's definitely not all. You got the bleachers, got from spring to fall, you got a dog, a drink, and that umpire's call. What do you want? Let's play what if. Okay, okay, Cutter, do some what ifs. Okay, okay, Cutter, do some what ifs. So the Milwaukee Braves were made in 1953. It wasn't an expansion team. It was the fact that the Boston Braves moved to Milwaukee. Boston was hemorrhaging money left, right, and center. Their American League team, the Red Sox, were doing much better than the National League team. The Boston Braves had some of the worst seasons ever. 1935 comes to mind with the worst winning percentage in Major League history. Not even the 2024 White Sox have done that. And we're talking about the freaking White Sox. So yeah, the 2024 White Sox have not even done it. But yeah, the 1935 Boston Braves were terrible. Babe Ruth was on for a few months, and then he got cranky and decided to do his thing elsewhere. The Boston Braves aside, they moved to Milwaukee because they were hemorrhaging money, and Braves Field was kind of decrepit. So Milwaukee, always wanting a baseball team and actually having a team for 1 year in 1901 before that team got moved to St. Louis to be the Browns, who begot the Baltimore Orioles in 1953, excuse me. The fact is, Milwaukee wanted baseball, and it would be great in the brewery state, if you will. So guess what? They'll do it. I'll do it, Milwaukee. So the Milwaukee Braves were born, and in 1953, they actually had as many people in their first 13 home games than the Boston Braves did with their home attendance all of 1952. Milwaukee brought out the welcome mat, and baseball was big. In fact, every year that the Braves were in Milwaukee, they had a winning record. They didn't have a losing record, which is unusual. On the opposite side of the spectrum is the Kansas City Athletics. When the A's franchise was in Kansas City, they never had a winning season until they moved to Oakland. So the Milwaukee Braves were huge. 1957, they shocked the world by beating the Yankees in the World Series, thanks to Eddie Matthews' Game 4 walk-off home run in a 7-game series, and Warren Spahn coming out of nowhere to be the ageless wonder he usually is. The Braves were so close in 1958. They were up 3 games to 1. It looked good for them to repeat as champions and, have a repeat champion not named the Yankees for the first time in God knows how many years. But the Yankees came back to win 3 games as Bob Turley basically pitched his arm out, trying to save the Yankees. Then, of course, you got the 1959 season, which I will talk about. Milwaukee was starting to lose money and all that. And then Atlanta, with their brand new stadium, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, which was very enticing, the cookie cutter stadium. They moved to Atlanta, and then that's where they've been ever since. Also, to point out about the baseball tiebreakers is how rare the tiebreakers are. In the American League, they went with a one-game tiebreak if everything ties for first, and the National League gets the best of three. Of course, this is in the era which you have to win your league, AL and NL, to make the World Series. Nothing else mattered. The AL in 1948 had the Red Sox take on the St. Louis Browns. And there was a lot of, sorry, Boston versus Cleveland. Boston knew that the Braves were in the World Series, so it was going to be a Kenmore Square battle between the Braves and the Red Sox. However, Cleveland used unknown pitcher Danny Galehouse and Lou Boudreau at shortstop to help Cleveland beat the Red Sox 8-3. Another one-game series I remember it was 1978 when the Red Sox and Yankees had to meet for the AL East in a one-game playoff at Fenway Park, and Bucky freaking Dent hit that three-run home run over the monster. In the National League, for example, the 1951 series, with the shot heard around the world, Bobby Thompson's home run. Everyone knows that. People forget about 1962 that the Giants and Dodgers were tied in the NL and had to go to a best of three series. This time, all the games were in California because the Giants moved to San Francisco and Dodgers in LA. And the Dodgers had home field advantage this time. So no excuses. Well, they lost game 3 thanks to that ninth inning blow up. I think I talked about that. Yes, I did talk about that in a previous video. But 1959, people forget about the fact that the Milwaukee Braves were tied in the NL with the LA Dodgers and had to go to a 3-game playoff. So let's talk about the Milwaukee Braves, why don't we, for 1959. All right, so we got ourselves the 1959 Brave season, the 7th season for the franchise in Milwaukee, and the 89th overall because, the Boston Braves, that season's home attendance 1.74 million. It's only one team. I think Los Angeles beat them because Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum held so many. It was the lowest to date in Milwaukee and the last over 1.5 million. So the attendance just got worse and worse and worse. The Braves tied the Dodgers first place with 86 wins, but had to go to a tiebreaker series, and the Braves choked both games by a run. Who won the World Series against the White Sox? The Braves had Chloe Ramon, but the White Sox got him in the Rule 5 draft. So Chloe Ramon did his job. In Frenchie, he was a former baseball reliever and broadcaster. Yeah, Chloe Ramon would be the big thing that Montreal would get for the Expos because he was from French Canada. Gene Conley was traded by the Braves to Philadelphia for Johnny O'Brien, John Kentansky, and catcher Stan Lopata. The front office went first. After the conclusion of the World Series in 1958, which the Braves choked, they decided to make a reorganization of front office. Joseph Cairns, the president, stepped aside and was succeeded by Bertie Tibbetts, former Reds manager at 46. Lou Perini was the owner still, and Tibbetts was named executive vice president. The repercussions of Tibbetts' appointment to a senior management post fell 3 months later when GM John Quinn, at age 50, resigned to become the Philadelphia Phillies as GM. Of course, John J. Quinn was the GM since 1945. Quinn was replaced in Milwaukee by John McHale, who's GM of the Tigers since 1957. McHale would be the Braves GM and would be the president. All that. John McHale would be more known also for helping the Expos organization out in the 1970s. So anyway, Hank Aaron was the batting champion with a 355 average with 223 hits and 400 total bases, which is career highs. He was third in MVP voting. He should have had more on this, but anyway, Eddie Matthews would have had 46 home runs to lead the National League. And yet he finished second in the MVP voting. Who won? Ernie Banks. A lot of people said that that Ernie Banks should not have deserved it because the Cubs were in last place. Practically, Aaron and Matthews split the voting among Braves players, which meant that Banks could swipe in and take it. Warren Spahn and Lou Burdett both won 21 games in the National League and carried the Braves on their backs. Spahn was the starting pitcher in the All-Star game. Bob Bull would have 15 wins, so they had a good threesome of starters. Don McMahon saved 15 games. So anyway, the Braves were involved in that famous Harvey Haddix game in which he threw a perfect game through 12 innings. The only problem was neither team could score a run, not even the Pirates. Unfortunately, though, Felix Mantilla, who recently passed away, broke up the perfect game in the 13th inning, and then it was a RBI double. Anyway, Lou Burdett finished all 13 innings. So yeah, so the Braves were 2 back of the Dodgers. They lost a 2-game series. Basically, the 59 National League wild card is one of the most unprecedented and the most forgotten tiebreaker around. Well, the 1948 Boston Cleveland one too, but let it be said. So anyway, yeah, they did okay. The Braves did pick up Mickey Ferdin, who was a former star player for the Washington Senators from Cleveland. Claude Ramon was returned to Milwaukee by the White Sox, who didn't want to keep him on their roster. Phil Roof was signed an amateur free agent by the Braves. He would be a member, first Blue Jay player in a trade in 1976. Ray Boone, who was the grandfather of Brett and Aaron Boone and the father of Bob Boone, was selected off waivers by the Braves from the Kansas City A's. Del Rice was made a coach by the Braves and released as an active player. Slaughter was even picked up by the Braves for the pennant run from the Yankees. Country Slaughter. Enrico Cardi, who recently passed away himself, signed by the Braves as an amateur free agent. So they didn't have a lot of pitchers, but they had Bob Bull, Lou Burdett, Joey J, Don McMahon, Juan Pizarro, Warren Spahn. Their catchers were Del Crandall, Stan Lopata, and Del Reyes. Not bad. Infielders Joe Adcock, Bobby Avila, Ray Boone, Johnny Logan, Felix Mantilla, Eddie Matthews, not that Joe Morgan, but not that Joe Morgan. Pawtucket Joe Morgan, I think. Johnny O'Brien, who played basketball for a while. Red Schoendienst, the legend of the St. Louis Cardinals, playing for the Milwaukee Braves. Frank Torrey and Mickey Ferdin. Outfielders Hank Aaron, Bill Bruton, Wes Covington, Lee May, Livini, Andy Pascal, Slaughter were the big ones, with Fred Haney being the manager. So the main guys were Del Crandall, Joe Adcock, Bobby Avila, Johnny Logan, Eddie Matthews, Wes Covington, Bill Bruton, and Hank Aaron. And the big 3 pitching, Spahn, Burdett, and Bull. And that's it. So let's see if they can take care of the White Sox. So it's the Chicago White Sox and the Milwaukee Braves. The White Sox had more wins, so that's why they got the number 1 seed, and also because of the rotation. But yeah, the White Sox hosted Game 1 of the World Series. Milwaukee Braves would put Lou Burdett in Game 1 if they had to. So you see some very impressive names. Joe McElwain. I wonder if the White Sox had anyone play right field. Ted Kluszewski? I think it was Jim Rivera, wasn't he? Larry Doby. Well, I'm putting Larry Doby in at right field. I mean, come on, it's Larry freaking Doby. So yeah, Larry Doby is in alongside Ted Kluszewski, because I know Kluszewski hit a pair of home runs, I think, in LA in real life in 1959. So yeah, so Kluszewski doing his job. The Milwaukee Braves going their lineup moves to first game from Comiskey Park sees the White Sox narrowly win 4-3. Narrowly. Sherm Lillard, the catcher for the White Sox, tripled to score Aparicio, and Nellie Fox doubled to score Lolar. It stayed that way till the 5th when Hank Aaron hit a double to score Bruton, and then the fluke double by Al Smith made it 3-1. In the 8th, Gene Staley came in to pitch for the White Sox. Hank Aaron singled. Matthews was hit in the arm by pitch. Adcock gets a single. Bases loaded. Del Crandall lines out to second. Wes Covington is in a fielder's choice. He got the runner at home, so it looked like good. But then Mantilla hit a single to score Matthews and Adcock. And Lee May with an E came in to pinch hit for Burdett. And Arias came in to pitch to him, and May grounded out. Bob Rush came in to pitch. Landis struck out. Lolar lined out. So those 2 outs. But Johnny Logan boots a grounder, gets Al Smith to get it. Nellie Fox singles, and then Kluszewski singles to score Smith, and Trowbridge has to come in. Turk Lone comes in for the save. Bruton strikes out. Logan singles. Aaron singles by Matthews hits into a round the horn double play. Game over. Early win wins 7. Jerry Staley blew the save. Well, Rudy Arias with the win. Turk Learns with the save. Lou Burdett only lasted 7. Bob Rush was the GOAT, and Bob Trowbridge as well. So that was game 1. Well, early win was game 1 starter in real life. Then Bob Shaw was game 2. Well, Spawn had to pitch game 2 because, they would need to win. As cats are meowing in the background, the Braves have tied the series 11-7. Landis hit a single to score Aparicio. Warren Spawn helps himself out with a triple. DH, I don't need those stinking DH. He scores Covington. Jim Landis doubled to score Aparicio in the bottom of the third. Al Smith singled to score Landis, 3-1. And it stayed that line for the longest time till the 7th when Staley decides to pitch. Adcock singles. Phillips misplays a routine grounder, so it's first and second. Covington singles for the bases loaded. Mantilla pops up the third. It looks like it's okay. May comes in to pinch hit for Spawn and hits a bloop single to score Adcock. Arias comes in to pitch. Bruton strikes out 2 outs, so it's like, okay, fine. But Johnny Logan takes a bases loaded walk. Hank Aaron doubles to score and clear the bases of Covington, May, and Logan. Matthews hit a single to score Aaron. It's 7-3 Braves. Bob Rush comes in the pitch. Norm Cash comes in the pinch hit for Arias, which is big. Norm Cash, 2 years later in 1961, would be the batting champion for the Tigers. He flies out. Aparicio singles. Jem Landis hits a double score. Aparicio. Trowbridge comes in the pitch. Sherm Lolar gets a single score. Landis. Smith flies out. Fox singles. First and third. Kluszewski gets a single for Lolar. And Bobby Phillips grounds out. But in the 8th, when more pitches, Avila came in to pitch hit for Trowbridge. And he singled. Bill Bruton singled to score Mantilla. Logan single score Avila. And Aaron single score Bruton, 10-6. He scored an extra run on a fielder's choice. Sherm and Al Smith grounded out. Fox walked, Kluszewski walked, Phillips walks. McMahon comes in with the bases loaded and gets Stovey to hit a single. But then Kluszewski decides to go home, but Covington decides, screw it, I'm going to throw home. And he did. Bob Shaw went 6, but then Staley and Arias both kind of blew it again. Moore and Dick Donovan. Spawn with the win, 6 innings. Then Rush, Trowbridge, Pizarro, and then McMahon came in for, I guess, the save. So it's 1-1. So Bob Boole will come in for game 3 and Billy Pierce for game 3, as it was in real life for the White Sox. And the White Sox go to Milwaukee, win 8-3. They score 2 runs in the first. Landis singles score Aparicio. Nellie Fox gets a sac fly, scored Landis. Louis Aparicio singled to score Doby. Joe Adcock went deep down the right field line. First home run of the series. Fox doubles to score Al Smith to make it 4-1. Sherm Lolar hit a double to score Landis. Kluszewski grounded out to score Lolar, and Bubba Phillips gets a 2 RBI single. So Pizarro has to come in to pitch. Braves just can't get hits. Crandall did hit a 2-run home run off of Moore. But other than that, nothing else happened. So Bull went 6 2/3 and News well. Pizarro 2 1/3 of scoreless relief, of hitless relief. Billy Pierce went 8, and then Ray Moore came in and stemmed the tide. So the White Sox are up 2-1, back to the top of the rotation for these two teams because White Sox went with a 3-man rotation in the World Series. Early Wynn gets another start and loses to the Braves, so it's 2-2. Sherm Millar single score Early Wynn, who got a double of his own. DH, I don't need no stinking DH. Bill Bruton doubles to score Covington and Mantilla. Logan scores Bruton. Early Wynn does it again. 2 RBI single score Fox and Phillips. Once again, like RJL Network says, DH, I don't need no stinking DH. He ties it. Covington goes deep to make it 4-3 for the Braves. And that was it till the bottom of the 8th when Lee May comes in the pinch hit and gets Covington to score. McMahon comes in for the save. Landis, Lolar, and Al Smith both are all gone. Burdett went 7 innings for the win. Rush, the 8th inning. McMahon, the 9th for the save. Wynn went 7 innings, and then Jerry Staley. So two skis, as we call it. Bob Shaw comes in to face Bond. And game 5 is a 17-inning affair as the White Sox win 1-0 in 17 innings. Wow. Amazing. So let's see. Chances runner on third. Well, Hank Aaron singled to make it bottom four, first and third. Matthews walks, but then Adcock hits into a double play, so no runs. Okay. Second. In extra innings, the Braves had a chance in the bottom of the 11th. Moore comes in to pitch. Avila comes in to pinch it for Rush. He strikes out. Bruden doubles. Logan walks. Laren grounds out the third. So it's second and third with 2 outs. Matthews gets intentionally walked to go to Adcock, but he pops up and game's still going on. Top of the 13th, after Michaeli gets a single and gets Dobie to third base, Pizarro comes in to pitch and gets Aparicio to fly out. Braves lead first and second as both Aaron and Matthews both don't get the run across. First and second for the Braves. Mickey Bruden came in to pitch hit for Lou Burdette, and he grounded out the first. White Sox at first and second. Phillips flew out. Dobie struck out swinging. Johnny Callison, future Philly in 1964, came in for Donovan and grounded out the first. Braves went first and second after Matthews walked. Adcock flew out. And then Al Smith goes deep in the 17th to make it 1-0. Turk Loan comes in for the save. Pafko comes in to pinch hit for Wiley. He strikes out. Bruden and Logan both ground out. So the White Sox win 1-0 in the 17th. Pitching wise, Vaughn went 8, then Rush 3, Trowbridge inning 2/3, Pizarro 1 out, Burdette 1 inning, and then Carl Wiley goes 3 innings to lose. Look at all these guys. All that. The White Sox pitching, Bob Shaw goes 7, Staley 2, Arias 1, Moore 2, Donovan 2, Latman 2, and Turk Loan the same. Barry Latman. So yeah, lots of pinch hitting. So back to Chicago for games 6 and 7. And it goes back to Billy Pierce versus Bob Boole. Are we going to see it game 7? The answer is yes, we will. The Braves beat the White Sox 6-4. Landis does get a double score. Aparicio and Nelly singles to score Landis 2-0. Jim Landis. And then Adcock singles to score Aaron, making it 2-1. Aparicio bases load walk to score Phillips 3-1. And then in the 7th, Covington doubles, Mantilla singles. Lee May comes in to pinch it for Boole and somehow takes a 3-run shot to left field to make it 4-3. Staley has to come in to pitch. Del Credo hits a 2-run home run, makes it 6-3. Don McMahon comes in for the save in the bottom of the 9th, up 6-3. Aparicio singles. Landis hits the fielder's choice, so he's on base. Aparicion's not. Laura singles. Al Smith strikes out, first and third. Fox and Kluszewski back-to-back walks. Landis scores to make 6-4, but Bubba Phillips strikes out. Pierce 6 innings for the loss. Staley 2, Arias 1, and the Braves. Boole goes 6, Rush goes 7 and 8, and then McMahon pitched up to 6. So we go to game 7. 2 of the most dangerous words in the English language. Game 7. So it is going to be Burdette versus Win. Game 7. My prediction, Payne. And yep, the Braves, it was Payne. The White Sox win in game 7, 5-1. As the White Sox score 4 runs in the third. Early win singles, again, we say DH. I don't need no stinking DH. Aparicio doubles to make it second and third. Landis grounds out. And then Lolar hits a double to score a win in Aparicio. And then Al Smith goes deep to left center to make it 3-zip. Fox flies out. Kluszewski singles. Bubba Phillips gets a single. Pizarro now has to come in to pitch and gets Dobie to strike out. 4-0. And then in the bottom of the 6th, Wynn hits a double to score Phillips. Again, I say DH. I don't need no stinking DH. And Aaron does get a double to make it 5-1 for the Braves, but nothing else. May comes in to pinch hit. He flies out. Bruden singles. Logan strikes out. Aaron singles. Turk Loan comes in, runs on first and third, and gets Matthews to fly out. And the White Sox would have won the World Series in 1959. Win with the win, of course. Staley hitting 2/3. Turk Loan pitches one guy for the out. Burdette, Pizarro, and Rush. It's weird. You got 3 guys, 2.2 innings each. And yes, that does add to 8 innings. And the White Sox win game 7 on home turf, and the Braves are screwed. But hey, you know what? exciting game. I mean, a 17 inning game on the simulation. You don't see that every day. You just don't. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.